Hey guys. So I wanted to share with you. I had a paranormal first um, that I know of last night into this morning, and it's just been sticking with me and resonating with me. I wanted to share it with you because I know there are a lot of people out there, whether you identify as being a medium or not. And I can see let me wipe that off. But we all have moments in our life where a deceased loved one or family friend whatever will come and visit you, and typically they come and visit you in your dreams before anything else. Once you're advanced, you know what I mean, you can build it up into your waking moment. But or if the spirit is advanced, they'll do it. So they typically come in your dreams because you have the least amount of resistance while you're dreaming. Okay? And it's just easiest because you're not all like throwing your ego into it, and it's amazing. So last night slash this morning, whatever you want to call it time wise, I'm laying there and I'm sleeping. I'm dreaming. I'm one, and I've acknowledged online over the years. I analyze my dreams as they happen. I try to interpret them as they're happening. I don't know why. In a way, I do. And that would have to be because I grew up in the '80s. I was born in '77, and 45 this year, man. It just seems weird to me. I don't feel 45. I love you, Notori. But the '80s, A Nightmare on Elm Street really resonated with me, and analyzing and you can stop nightmares this way, and yeah. So I'm laying there, and a friend of mine who had passed away several years ago from an overdose. His name's Dougie, Dougie G. Man, yeah, love my Dougie. I wasn't intentionally thinking about him before going to sleep or anything. Okay. Typically, when you're getting ready to go to sleep, if you want to call forth a spirit, you leave them a voicemail, so to speak. You can either acknowledge out loud or mentally, hey, and in this case, I'm talking about Dougie G, so I'm going to use him as the example. If I'm going to do it with words out loud, it'd be like, hey, Dougie, I'm about ready to go to sleep. I miss you. I haven't seen you in a long time. It's been a couple of years since you passed. I'd really like to see you. And as I lay down to go to sleep, please feel free to come to me, Let me get my dad's necklace out here with my moldavite. There's my dad's chain. Um, I love my dad for that. But I've been having a lot of spirits come to me lately with people that I I don't know how in the hell they're finding me. With spirits, I've learned over the years that it's if you're within like maybe 100 miles or however far they actually sense that you're able to see, hear, and communicate, it's like a light shining in the dark. So you become kind of like a lighthouse, and they're out in the ocean. Oh, Gara, don't use your nails when you scratch, honey. Um, so they'll come and find you if you're sensitive. That I like. But I'm laying there, and Dougie came to me to show me that it was him. Like I wouldn't recognize his face even in my dream. Um, he showed me the way he passed. In '89, I OD'd and died. won't be doing that again. But I had been thinking ever since, and I had just turned 12 at that point, that if I go out again, dude, I mean, that was the least painful way I could have, right? And I understand, like, you don't want your friends or family to suffer and pain and everything. And I said namaste. I don't know how. I wasn't like an active participant in my dream. I was letting it happen. Whatever words were coming out of me, so to speak. Whoa. So I said namaste, somehow. Without my knowing, I said namaste to him. And he had one of those, thank you, moments. Where, like, you just, thank you. You know what I mean? And it's been resonating with me since I've been awake. And I wanted to share with you. I don't think I've ever had a spirit come to me before, while I'm awake or in my dream, where I actually said namaste, and I had no idea that I was doing it. And what I've been feeling ever since is a deep sense of thank you. That I wasn't judging him in the way that he had passed. Now, I had posted recently, you never want to look down on somebody in the manner in which they pass, because yours might be even more messed up. You know what I mean? Like the way in which you pass, you could be looking down on somebody for drinking and driving, and they pass that way, or whatever the case is, right? They OD and die or something, and you're like, should have known, that kind of a thing. You don't do that. But by my saying namaste to him, and I don't even know how, dude, I got a deep sense of thank you and relief from him. Now, I'm noticing that he hasn't had that before. He wasn't having anyone around him saying, you know what, I don't blame you. And if I were to go, I wouldn't want to be in pain either, and that's the most pain-free way that I could think of. And I acknowledge that when I was a kid, and I killed myself accidentally, that if I had to do it again, that would be the way I'd want to go again. You know what I mean? Now as an adult, no. You know, I mean, you gotta understand that's probably just a drug addict's way of saying, hey man, if I'm gonna go, let's go pain free. So, get that point. But, I've never had a moment where I said, you know what? I'm glad it was that way for you. Because I know from my own experience it would have been a pain free way to go. And you would have felt good on your way out. And that's something we can all kind of appreciate when it comes to someone we know and care about, whether it's family, friend, or even some rando dude down the street that you don't know. You wouldn't want to wish pain and suffering on somebody's way out. And you sure as hell don't want to look down on them. So I thought it was really beautiful. And I woke up feeling him with a sense of thank you. That whole moment of thank you. You know what I mean? That, like, all shit aside, thank you. Because I wasn't judging him. And to me, that means the world to me. I say it's a paranormal first because I don't think I've ever actually had a moment where I said namaste to a ghost. in my dream or while I'm awake, without even my knowledge of it coming out of me. Telepathically, I guess you'd say, because it was in a dream state. And had it go further into a level where they felt a sense of relief, and that finally someone wasn't holding it against them and judging them for it. And I think that's really, really beautiful. Now, like I've said, I do want to share more that I've been learning, and with crystal skulls, obviously. So I will be. But this is one I just wanted to put out there. If you want to have an encounter with a specific person that's passed, we need to let go of any negative feelings. Now, and there's love and above, or there's less than that. Okay? So you got positive and negative, if you're judging someone for the way they passed and you want to see their ghost, that's a negative. If you're like, I want to see ghosts, please come to me, please. That's a negative. It's not going to happen. Sorry. That's the way it is. But if you have an encounter, whether it's in your dream, because that's the easiest for the spirit world to make contact, because you're not resisting. You're not like, yeah, that was all in my head, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, there is no resistance, and that's all negative, and it stops you. If you have an encounter, and you know, even in your dream, that's a paranormal experience. Now, I woke up from that so cold. It was as though it were 100 below zero, and I was soaking wet, completely naked, wrapped in a wet sheet outside, sleeping for decades. You know what I mean? Like, I was fucking cold. Which has been like that lately when somebody who recently passed over has come to me a couple times. And I won't say your name, because I don't want to offend anybody. But, I'm learning a lot. I want to share with you a lot. If you have a ghost that comes to you, whether you know them or not, try to be more of like a therapist in this situation than you would a typical human being, which is shitty. Because, I mean, let's face it, human beings, especially while we're awake, our ego kicks in, and we're fucking shitty people. As much as we don't mean to be or whatever, you know what I mean? That's how it is. And when it comes to spirit world, if you can actually acknowledge someone's passing as not being the most prim and proper, and you're not giving them any sort of judgments, and you're actually acknowledging, like, you know what, dude? Out of all the ways you could have went, I'd rather you would go pain-free. And shit, I mean, if you could feel good, while you were transitioning out of your body, I mean, I love you, man. I wouldn't want you to be in pain. I won't hold it against you for having a drug overdose or drinking and hitting a fucking tree, being on a snowmobile and being decapitated because you went through a fucking barbed wire fence on your snowmobile. I've lost some friends in some pretty fucked up, gruesome ways. Not just suicides, like accidents, and not just murder either, I mean, when they're in an accident, you feel even worse for them, like, oh God, So I just wanted to say, the overall gist, don't judge people in the manner in which they pass, because yours might be even more fucked up than that. If you're looking down on somebody because they were drinking and hit a tree, And you're like, you know, they were all warned, you know, we all tried to tell them, that kind of thing. You're looking down on somebody. Who the fuck are you to judge? You know? But if you really can have a paranormal experience and you acknowledge that, yeah, that's real. That's not bullshit. It's not a dream. It's not just in a dream. That, you know, it really is a paranormal moment. Give them the peace that maybe others wouldn't have or wouldn't, period. Be the better person out of all the shitty fucking examples we have as humans. Be that for them. Because you may be the only person that's still alive that says, you know what? I don't hold that against you. And I'm not going to look down on you for it. And I'm actually kind of grateful that you weren't in pain. And I know from my own experience that that was the better way to go, as compared to other ways that they could have gone. And I think that's really important. Now, I've been doing a lot of these things lately, not just this moment that I wanted to share with you. And it's having a real big impact. I'm having spirits come to me that I know damn well it's not leaving a voicemail for them. Because when you're like, hey, I want to see you and hear you, I want to see your ghost. Or mentally you're like, God, I wish I could see them again, you know? You're leaving a voicemail for their soul. And they may be off doing whatever, seeing other families, because we can be in shitloads of, you know, locations at the same time, hanging out with people all at the same time in different locations and everything. The soul's not limited. We are, as the living. But if you can offer peace, love, a lack of judgment, and be a better person, to say, you know what, I'm okay with it. I don't care that you died this way. I love you anyway. There are changes that will happen. Because they're going home, so to speak, while you wake up, or if you're awake while it happens, whatever. And they get to go back over there, so to speak. And they all gather around. And they all look at you a whole lot different than they did before. They might know flat out you're an amazing soul in this physical being of a body. But if you can do something that special for them, they all want to have a part of it. They all want to have that experience. They all want to have their moment where it's being acknowledged to them that unlike all the others, man, fuck them. You're not looking down on them. And I'm having people come to me since that I haven't seen, heard, thought about 20 years or more. In some of these cases, especially with this one, his name's George. He was my aunt's friend. I don't know as if I ever met him in person. I think maybe I did. But it was so long ago I don't remember. And he wanted me to give the message to my aunt Jess in hopes that maybe she would kind of give it to my Aunt Mindy. And I did call her Melinda. I was addressing the adult mindset within her. It wasn't meant to be a slam. Because honestly, no matter what I said or say, I love my aunt. And I would never slam. Even in a moment, side note, where I'm all like, you know what, bitch, this is fucked up. You know what I mean? Just in that sentence I just said, I wouldn't be calling you a bitch. Because you know how humans are. We're like, bitch, come on, you know? but you're not actively calling someone a bitch or something like that, you know? And I know people don't want to be called out for holding a grudge that was created out of a lie for no reason as an excuse or anything like that. But George wanted me to let my Aunt Jess know in hopes that it could end up getting to my Aunt Mindy. That he hasn't, received a letter from her in a while. And he still thinks of her and he still loves her. Now, this person, whether I actually met him in person or not, I'm sure I did, But that was over 30 years ago, maybe. At least over 20. It wasn't one of my best friends in life. It was hers, you know what I mean? So there was another example where, like, man, if you're coming to me, like, and I'm not actively calling you out, leaving you a voicemail, so to speak, for you to come to me, um, it's special, and there's a reason behind it. I also wanted to say that I have a little bit bigger than this, quite a bit bigger than this. I will show this size, all right? I had just picked up a piece of quartz with pink tourmaline. And my friend Arlo, Truex, his dad passed. And his dad lived up the road from me. And I'm like, I joined the club. My dad's gone now. And I told him to, I'm like, well, here, I just got this. And, would you like it? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. Put this by your bed. Reason being, anywhere you have a lot of quartz around you, did you just see that? This house is haunted. Did you just see that? One just came down too. Wherever you have a lot of quartz, you'll have a lot of paranormal moments. Mount Sinai, the place in Scotland with Loch Ness, Michigan, and there's a bunch of places all over the world. Egypt, the granite has a lot of quartz in it, and so you get a lot of paranormal moment going on because of quartz. So I try to plaster my house and surroundings all around it. And I do sleep with Angelo next to me. So if I wanted to just turn my head over, I could kiss him in the middle of the night. I do. Has pink tourmaline in it. Now, aside from all that pink tourmaline will do, it's being amplified. Your love, compassion. So for somebody that wants to have a moment and see their dad again, put it by your bed. When you go to sleep at night, you're going to be in the least resisted state. And those properties sitting next to you of the quartz and the tourmaline and so on, whatever crystals you've got next to you, have quartz too, no matter what else you've got. You've got a better chance of seeing your loved ones again. Now with these crystal skulls, these are really being intended to help you with mediumship paranormal moments, not just all the things that quartz and crystal skulls can do. And if you follow my posts within the last 3 years alone, you will understand that it is a very big thing now for me because of, the conversations with my brothers that we had. Josh wasn't there that night, but he was to be included. And, so it's been adding up. All of this is unfolding to where I don't give a fuck what I do in life. I need to make sure I do these crystal skull sales that are activated and imprinted, not only by Ganesh and my other skulls here, but by my family as well. Not just my own shit, with light and sound and intent and all these things, earth, air, fire, water, and, that a human can do. That my family on the other side is actively doing their part to really help even the most resisted, so to speak, if that's a good way of putting it, you'll have a better chance. And then once you're able to get aligned up to where your vibrational, energy is, even if it's just a start in your dream, they're there to help. And they're there to help you with seeing your family and friends and, being there to relay messages, not only for you, but for all those around you. And that's a blessing. But keep in mind, yet another little tip. If you can acknowledge their passing while they're there in front of you, how they have passed in front of you, they're showing you how they passed. To help you better understand, yep, this is who it is, this is who it is more confirmation of who it is, okay? Take the moment with them to sympathize and show your love and respect anyway. And that, you know what? I love you anyway. I don't care how you went. You mean the world to me. You know what I mean? And more spirits will come to you, including people that you would have never guessed. Like this guy named George. He wants my aunt to know that he's still there. He hasn't gotten a letter in a while, So she might want to write to him, and that's special. Now, you can look at me as though I'm crazy and kooky and, I'm a wackadoo and I'm all fucked up or on drugs or whatever for having paranormal moments and I'm openly, actively talking about it. I don't give a shit. My soul is my own. My life on this planet, I have a purpose, as we all do. It's a dharma. We all have our own dharma. Now, when you come to this world, from the spirit world, you're born as a baby. You get it? You see where I'm going? Before you enter this world as a newborn, all of it's laid out. And we just go along for the unfolding of the existence while we're here. Right down to the way they pass and when and how they pass. It's already been predetermined by them and God by the time they even arrive as a newborn. So there are no tragic moments, no matter how tragic it is. That's the way they signed up before they got here. But offer them peace, love, and harmony. And if it was a brutal, horrible way of passing or anything, sympathize with them. Or if it's their own doings, like an overdose or suicide or whatever, don't hold that shit against them. And you'll have even more unfolding and even more paranormal encounters. And you will begin to have people come to you from miles and miles around because you're now like a lighthouse out in the middle of the ocean in the dark. And they see you, and that's where they want to go because they can see that you're a light. You're a beacon to this world, and you are able to communicate and relay a message. There's so many different things that I'm learning along the way. Now, I didn't grow up a medium, you know what I mean? I'm not out there putting it on, for $3.99, fucking call me, bitch, and I'll tell you your shit. No, man. This is all unfolding in me, and more so in the last 3 years than ever before. And it's because I was actually pushing for it. That's where the train goes a little backwards too. Because anytime you're actively like, I want to see, and it's not going to fucking happen. Not yet anyway. Not until you let go of your shit. You want to see a ghost, don't be fucking staring at it. You turn the other way and there they are. You know what I mean? always offer them a sense of love and understanding and compassion and acknowledgement and all of that when it comes to how they passed and so on. Because they're going to leave you when you wake up or however it's done, right? If you're sleeping, and it's a paranormal moment while you're sleeping, they're going to wake up. They're going to be where they are. You're going to be here where you are. And they're going to go home, so to speak. Oh, my baby girl. I love my daughters. They're going to be surrounded by the spirits that are around them. And all of those spirits are going to be like, wow, man, I'm going to go to see them. Because they want that moment too. So if you want to have more encounters, and you want to open it up outside of your training wheels, which I've put in previous videos, your training wheels are your friends and family. More so your family. Because they're the ones you have the most love built up for. Okay, and it's just easiest. But those training wheels will get to where they're being taken off. Now, I don't want to say my training wheels are removed, and I'm a big boy now, but I know the screws have been loosed on those training wheels, like that's sort of a way of putting it. So I'm going to share a whole slew of videos continuously, and posts on my varying platforms that I'm on, LinkedIn. Follow me on LinkedIn, dude. And like Instagram, definitely. I think Instagram is an amazing tool for video chat. I've been able to see, hear, and read through vibrational frequency and color for others, and it then comes forth with image and video to me. It's amazing. So, I mean, like, I don't even need to know or be near you or what. We can pull up a video chat and I'm talking to you. As long as there's a light colored background, like this is light enough. You know what I mean? Or like a beige wall or some shit. I will then see your aura, but it's not yours, it's theirs. And I'm able to translate. And then from there, as I start acknowledging what I'm seeing without the resistance, that's when it's like, okay, now we're here, and they come right forth. Like they're back here showing me colors, and then, all right, you acknowledged. You know what I mean? And it just grows and flows and unfolds and blossoms and blooms. It's just fabulous. So, just some more little tips. And I'm not a paranormal expert. I'm getting there. My brother in Italy, he's, acknowledged with those words that, I'm becoming. And that means the world to me. I would love to be a paranormal expert. And, as it grows and flows and blossoms, blooms, and flourish, like, it's happening. And I'm learning how to let it happen versus, I want it, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to share all that shit with you along the way. Don't look at me like I'm a fucking master medium or anything, like, just don't. Just know that this is unfolding within me. I've been able to do this shit my whole life, on and off, but since my brother passed, I wanted it turned on. Don't turn that light switch off again, and I want it full fucking on, And if there could be a power surge, fucking run it, Yeah, let's do this shit. Well, that put a damper and hinder on it, and that slowed shit down. So there's lots of things that you're doing where you don't even realize. If you want to have a paranormal moment, you got to be in the least amount of resistance, whether it's in a dream or you're awake. And always offer love and compassion, even for when they show you how they pass. Don't judge them. Let them know you love them anyway. Now, for Dougie, he had an OD. I've OD'd myself and died, And, like, I understood, like, out of all the ways, I mean, at least I know you weren't in pain, and, I mean, you felt better. It wasn't a painful way to go. And for that, I'm as much as it sucks, I'm grateful that you weren't in pain when you passed, Offer that. When you can establish you are having a paranormal moment. Did you just see that? It's not dust, dude. I fucking love this house and I don't ever want to leave. My gram never wanted me to leave. She wanted me to stay. This time since I've been here, because the last time when I was here, it was like 5 years ago, and I came over and I told her she was delusional. And I didn't mean as like, you're fucking delusional, bitch. I meant it as in like, no, you've got dementia. You're developing delusion like that, okay? And it was hard. She didn't understand, and I probably didn't make it easier because, I don't always have, just like we all do as a human, we don't always have the best, most proper way. You know what I mean? So I get it. But, there's lots more to come. I will be posting up a lot of things all over my platforms, be it Instagram. I don't have an actual Facebook profile. Do they even call it Facebook? It's Meta, Business Suite for me, because I have pages. I'm like a business, like you like on Walmart and you can send a message. Same fucking shit, you know? I can't like on your profile. I can't do that shit. But I'm on different platforms, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and all of those things. So I'm posting on, in photograph or in text, or in this case on YouTube with video. And I will be sharing quite a bit. All the things that I'm learning along the way, all the things that I've been posting since I got my first crystal skull, and how I acknowledge no matter how fucked up it sounds, dude, like you can think I'm whacked. I need to say these things. I will let you know, hey, man, I'm having this fucked up moment, or you'll never guess what just fucking happened to me.